Hey, deep divers. Ever feel like you're stuck in this world that just like pushes you, to be more popular, get more stuff, always chasing the next big thing?
Yeah.
Like maybe there's just like a better way to do things, a better way to build a society where those things don't matter as much.
It's a question, people have been wrestling with for like centuries.
Right.
And what's wild is that we actually have a historical example of a society that tried to do just that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're diving into 4 Nephi 1.118,
Okay.
which describes a real historical period where people built something really incredible.
Okay, so paint me a picture here.
Yeah.
What did this society actually look like?
Okay, imagine a world, right, with zero poverty. Like arguments were unheard of,
Really?
and people were just genuinely happy.
Wow.
Not just some temporary happiness, but over a century of pure bliss.
No way.
Yeah. They rebuilt cities from the ground up,
Uh-uh.
experienced miraculous healings, and basically lived in a state of just constant peace and harmony.
Hold on. No way. 100 years of no drama.
Yeah.
That's like unheard of, especially for teenagers. It sounds too good to be true. What was their secret? Did they just get lucky?
So here's where it gets really interesting. This wasn't just like by chance,
Right.
It was a direct result of the choices they made and
Interesting.
the beliefs that they held. They had this kind of like recipe for righteousness
Okay.
that guided their actions and according to our sources ultimately led to this incredible outcome.
A recipe for righteousness.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What were the ingredients that made this Zion society tick?
Well, the first ingredient, and this might sound kind of radical, but they valued people over possessions.
Hmm.
Instead of like chasing the latest gadgets or
Right.
trends, they focused on sharing what they had
Wow.
and taking care of each other.
That's pretty different from how things work today.
Yeah.
Especially in high school.
Mhm.
Like it feels like everyone's always comparing themselves to each other. Did they have some kind of rule against social media or something?
Not exactly, but their texts talk about how they like recognized the dangers, right,
Yeah.
of prioritizing material wealth.
Yeah.
They had the saying, "He that hath the spirit to get rich, let him beware of pride."
Mm.
They realized that true happiness, it came from connection and community, not from collecting things.
Okay, so less about keeping up with the Joneses and more about like lifting up your neighbor. I
Exactly.
could dig it. What else was in this recipe for a better world?
So another key ingredient was their emphasis on faith over fear.
Okay.
Instead of stressing about like the unknown or getting caught up in all the drama, they found strength and unity in their spiritual beliefs.
Right.
Imagine a world where instead of like worrying about acing that test or fitting in with the cool kids, you were grounded in something bigger than yourself.
That makes sense. It's like when you have that one friend who's like super confident
Right.
and chill,
Yeah.
because they
Right.
they know who they are and what they stand for. Their faith gave them that inner peace.
Exactly. And because their faith was such a strong foundation, right?
Yeah.
They were able to build genuine trust and unity with each other.
Mm.
Remember, no ites allowed here.
Okay.
Everyone saw themselves as equals,
Right.
working together towards a common goal.
Yeah.
They understood that teamwork makes the dream work.
No clicks, no drama, just pure cooperation and shared values. It sounds incredible. But let's be real, even the best friend groups, they have their moments, right? How long could this utopia really last?
You're right to ask that because sadly, no utopia lasts forever.
Right.
Even with the best intentions,
Yeah.
things can change and cracks can appear in even the strongest foundations.
So what happened? Did they all get tired of being good?
Well, according to 4 Nephi 1.19 Taf 49, things started to unravel when pride crept in.
Oh.
People began comparing themselves to each other, valuing status and wealth over the principles of equality that they once held so dear.
It's like that saying, money changes everything.
It's a tale as old as time, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Is
is.
they focused more on what they lacked instead of what they had. They started to lose sight of those core values that had brought them so much happiness,
Yeah.
They allowed material desires and the pursuit of power to overshadow the unity and compassion that had once defined their society.
It's like they traded in all their happiness
Yeah.
for a bunch of stuff they didn't even need.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of familiar, don't you think?
Hmm.
We see it all the time, even in high school, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's easy to get caught up in wanting the latest phone or the coolest sneakers. But does that stuff actually make us happier?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
And this story, it suggests that true happiness, it comes from something much, much deeper, something more meaningful.
Okay.
The Zion society, it reminds us that when we prioritize, love, unity, genuine connection,
Yeah.
we create a richness that no amount of material possessions can ever match.
So what can we learn from all of this? Their society, it crumbled. Does that mean like we're doomed to repeat their mistakes?
Not at all. This isn't just some like ancient history lesson,
Well,
It's a powerful reminder that the choices that we make each day, even seemingly small ones, they have this power, right?
yeah.
To shape the world around us. Just like in ancient Zion, those choices can either build up or break down the unity and happiness in our own lives and in our communities.
Okay, I like that. So how do we do it? How do we take this ancient story and make it like relevant to our lives today?
Yeah.
Especially as teenagers.
It starts by recognizing those opportunities, right?
Yeah.
To choose connection over comparison.
Right.
To act with kindness and generosity,
Yeah.
and to build each other up instead of tearing each other down.
Right.
Think about like your own life, your friend groups, your school.
Yeah.
What if instead of gossiping or competing, you focused on supporting each other, celebrating each other's successes,
Right.
offering a helping hand when someone's struggling.
I see what you mean. Like instead of stressing about who's dating who or who has the most followers online, we could focus on being more genuine.
Yeah.
And supportive friends.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just being like, nice.
Right.
It's about actively choosing to see the best in each other.
Right.
To practice forgiveness.
Yeah.
And to remember that we're all in this together.
It's like choosing to build our own little Zions,
Yeah.
One friendship, one interaction at a time.
Right.
It might not always be easy, but it's definitely worth striving for.
You got it. And remember, you don't have to wait for someone else to make the first move. Be the one who reaches out, offers a kind word, or stands up for what you know is right.
Right.
You might be surprised by the ripple effect it creates.
This deep dive has been such an eye-opener.
It really has.
Who knew that ancient history could be so relevant to our lives as teenagers?
Right.
It's inspiring to think that even though this society eventually, it crumbled,
Sure.
the principles they live by, love, unity, faith, service, those are timeless.
Absolutely. And they're just as powerful and necessary today as they were back then.
That's amazing.
So deep divers, what kind of world will you create today?